Hey guys and girls, my name's Dan and welcome back to The Forge. In this episode of Trust Me, I'm a blacksmith. I'm going to make some bladesmithing tongs. On request, guys have asked me to make some bladesmithing tongs. I don't use these as bladesmithing tongs. I really like these as an alternative to box jaws. These are great. When they're set up right, they really are great. I use them for all sorts of little jobs. Things like these bad boy here that hold the hammers. These are 40 square. They hold this one? Oh, come on, please hold you. Yeah, sort of. It's been forged down a bit. They don't hold after they've been forged, but when I'm doing the cross pins and stuff like that, I use this style of tong to hold my hammers. So I've already made a set of these and done the video, and if you're aware of my previous record with tong making videos, you ain't going to see that one because I screwed them up. I messed them up, I wasn't happy with them, so I'm going to make them again, but this time I'm going to make them a little bit better. They're going to hold some of this 01 tool steel. This was the offcut from the heat treating video. These were the pieces that I did the test on. I would say that you could use this stock as a knife making blank stock, and that's why I'm going to use it. So this is 30 by 6 mil stock. I will put the sizes in American down below, Imperial. I'll put that out there. I haven't measured this, so I'm not 100% sure on this. This is a stock that we're going to be holding. The tongs I made were too beefy, really, to be holding this stock. The style that these are made in, this particular type of tong is made in, is sort of a Toby Hinkman style. It uses flat bar. This is 7/16 by inch or 6 mil by 25 mil. It's 500 mil long, which is your, you always forget that one. (19 inches and 3/4 in length. And what I've done is I found the middle and I've put 2 centre dot marks at either end of the middle, so after I've bished this all to pieces and it's unrecognisable, I can still kind of have a good idea of volume size for the set where the centre should be. And then what I've done is so about an inch and a half. Oh yeah, sorry guys, I'm feeling real bad at this today. An inch and a half at least. So 40 mil or an inch and a half from this end. I put a centre dot mark on one side of the bar, and then an inch from that line, so 2 inches and a half. I put another centre dot mark for 25 mil, so that's 65 millimeters in total from that end. I put another centre dot mark here, right on the edge, and the reason for putting it on the edge like this is because I might not be able to see it, but I can feel it, and that's quite good when things are hot. You can, I don't know if you can hear that, but you can feel it when it's on the anvil, so it gives you a little bit of a register to know where you're working from, so hopefully that's a useful tip. You will need to make a tool of some description to do this. You don't have to make a hardy tool like I have. This is just a bit of a hash. It's a piece of spring. It's 10 mil round spring or 3/8 round spring, and then I've made a little hardy tool and I've welded it on, and that just goes in there. You'll need that for the first part. After that, there are no tools. You will need just an anvil and a hammer. Let's do this. I think I've got to mention that this video is going to be in 2 parts. I'm very sorry, I'm going to rough the blanks out. I feel the blanks are important to get right because they lead on to lots of other tools, and if I get this bit right now, I won't have to make the videos for all the other ones. I can just do the variation on this, which is stonking. The second thing I'd like to point out, and I never pointed this out before, health and safety. Health and safety police. You haven't bit me very hard yet. 1 second, I might burn something. Health and safety police, sorry. Health and safety police, you haven't bit me very hard yet. And I'd just like to say thank you for not chewing my arm off. I don't wear ear protection unless I'm on the power hammer or using an angle grinder or something like that, because I don't. That's my choice. I would recommend, if you've got a particularly wingy anvil, you should wear ear protection. I wear gloves when I'm forging. I do not wear gloves on my hammer hand. But as a consequence, you will get burns. If you do this job, you will get burned. There are no two ways about it. You can be as careful as you like. Something will happen one day and you'll burn yourself. Bad, not bad, whatever. But just be aware that burns happen. Gloves are a good example of how you can burn yourself. They end up getting wet and you end up cooking your hands in the gloves. I've seen it done, and you don't realise you've done it until the next day. So if you are going to have wear gloves, use them sensibly. Always wear eye protection, and I would suggest that you wear a respirator as well. But you know, I am who I am, and I take my own risks with my life and my choices. But I'm just pointing out to you guys, be consciously aware of what you're doing, grinding, drilling, forging, welding. Make sure you've done some research on the correct protective equipment that you guys should be wearing. Okay guys, nice for this little chat. See you in a bit. Okay, step one. First thing I'm going to do, I'll just give this a bit of a brush down, get off this scale off here. Now I can see those little divots, those little marks from the centre punch that I put on there. I'm just going to use the tool that I've made to mark a nice little round spot in there. Now I'm going to take it over where the other centre punch mark was. Same again. Now what I want to do is I want to put this mark in. I want to put this mark in the bar till the bar almost touches the anvil. It doesn't have to be all the way in. About a third of the material thickness. Really, that's it. Cool, back in the fire sheet. Okay, so next job is to draw out the nibs. So I'm just going to bring the nibs down to start with, to the point where they meet. Where they start to meet up with this part of the, they start meeting up to this round piece here. Okay, so I've got that hot again. I'm going to hold this on the edge of the anvil with this part of the hinge plate sticking down. And I hold that nice and tight into the anvil. I'm supporting the back of it with my leg. Now what's happened is, this is good because I wanted to show you this. What's happened is this bar's gone a little bit rhombusy shape. So this corner and this corner are kind of almost kite shape. I don't know if you can see that. They're almost kite shape. Now what I need to do is fix that, and the way to fix it is I'm going to take this corner off first and I'm going to forge it down. But you want to be doing this whilst you've got enough material to lose. So basically I'm going to take this corner off here first. I'm going to then flip it over to this side here. I'm just going to gently take that corner in. So quite a big take off here, little bit in there, and then square it back up again and it should become square. So if that's before, I'll show you the after in just a second. I had an extra special moment then. I completely missed that step out. So what I've done is I've taken this corner off here. So you can see I've taken that corner off there, and then I've lightly taken this corner off here. Now I'm going to get it back into shape. I will refilm this on the other half. Now I'm being extremely conscious to keep everything square. It's really important now. You've made this effort to get that material to go back the way you want it. You need to be conscious of keeping it square now. Okay, that's much better. Now you can see how the sides are a lot more uniformed. I know this is a bit squishy on the end. But but we've definitely taken that rhombus shape out of it. It's more of a rectangle now. Let's get that back in the fire. Okay, back over to the anvil. Give it another good brush off. Now, it's super important that you keep everything nice and tidy. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to work this side of the stock off, try and keep it nice and square. Just taking the corners off and making sure everything's dressed up nicely. Now, you need to make sure that you keep this thickness here the same as the hinge plate or as near as possible, and you want this to be nice and even. I have a bulge here that needs to come out, so I'm going to get rid of that now. Okay, so this piece in the middle here just needed a bit of dressing down so it's all the same shape. So you want to keep this the thickness of the starting material, so that was 7/16 or 6mm, and you want to keep this a nice even smooth shape across the entire length, nice and rectangular and nice and square, or at least as square as you can get it, like so. Okay, so that's the first half done. I'm just going to measure the length here, and also I'm just going to measure the width. So what we need to do now is we need to repeat this process on the other end. Okay, so slightly different view for this one. I'm going to do this as if I was doing it properly. By properly I mean as if you guys weren't here. So first hole, first divot done, second divot done. You want to come about 2/3 in. Straighten everything up, make it look nice. Take the round side of my hammer. I'm holding that against my hip, keeping everything nice and tight. Okay, we're a bit cold. Right, just going to flicker over the edge of the anvil. As in the previous nib, the same thing's happened. She's gone out square. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the high side, which is this side, and I'm going to turn the corner up. I'm going to really forge the corner out. So I'm going to turn her over to the opposite corner. I'm going to take the corner out, not as extreme. And then I'm going to forge back on the sides that I wanted square. Good. Again, I'm forging these close to the kind of speed I would if I wasn't narrating. And now I'm being conscious of getting everything forged nice and tidy and accurately. And looking hot. Now, you don't have to forge these super precise. You just got to get the meat in the right place. You just got to make sure you've got the same amount of material on both sides, and that'll offer you a level of consistency. It's really important that you try and aim for some nice consistency when you're making these blades. So I want the thickness of the hinge plates to be the same as the nibs, and I would also expect that from the start of the reins. I'm just working through the heats here, and it's going a little bit cold on me, a bit quicker now that this material is quite thin. What I'm aiming for is that to match up with this. Okay, I've got to get about another 3/8, 10 mil out of that, but that's okay, we can do that, I'm sure. Now I've got a lot of meat back up by the hinge plate that I want out. That's better, I'm just going to try and push that forward. We're getting there for length, we're a bit fatter than we want. Almost there. Now, a little tip is, always take the corners of your square metal work if you're dipping it in and out of a coke forge, or a coal fire, or a charcoal fire. If you reduce the surface area on the corners, increase the surface area on the corners, they're less likely to get hot and they're less likely to burn. It will still burn, but bang on, there we are, we're almost exactly the same there. Right, that's your bar. I'm just going to chop it in half on this mark we made earlier and draw out some reins. Okay, so I've drawn out the nibs. We're looking fairly consistent. One is slightly thicker than the other, but that's not a problem. The thickness isn't a problem. But the position of all the little divots I made in there, they're all the same. The lengths are roughly the same, so I'm really pleased with that. They're looking grand. So now what we need to do is forge out the reins. Okay, I'm not going to dictate to you guys and girls how this should be done. If you want to forge these out, whatever way you want to do, you do it. These are going to take a while to do. I'm just going to do mine over the bick. Because that's just how I like to peel my apples. Okay, because these tongs are made from quite a thin section material, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave them ever so slightly fatter and taper them back into a slightly thinner rein at the back. And the reason being is I want to keep a bit of strength up here by the hinge plates. Okay, so that's one half done. I'm just going to get the other half sorted now. Only fools leave their metal to burn while they're in tea. On the cusp of burning there. Okay, so both halves are done and they're looking fine. I think I might drill and rivet these ones, drill the hole and then rivet them, but I'm not going to do that in this episode. What I am going to do, on the other hand, is I am just going to shape these hinge plates up a bit nicer, and then I'm going to call it a day on this video. Okay, so this is my number one pet hate. This technique is not explained well enough. What I'm doing is I'm just offsetting and rounding up the hinge plates so that when they go together, they sit really nicely. I'm going to do this again. I'm going to show you both sides, but it's really important that you make a real effort to get this bit right. It will drastically improve the quality of your tongs. No end. Just make some better tongs. Remember, when you're heating this bit up, especially if you're in a coke forge or a coal forge, you don't want to burn these, so keep them cool, keep quenching them off. Okay, the big problem with this part is you can't really do it in loads of heats, you need to do it in one. So the first thing you do is you take that corner off, and as you take the corner off, roll it over and then bring it back the other way, and then roll it to the front, like so, and then give it a nice tap. Get this in here. Now this one could be a bit more oblong, I think. And a little bit more. Okay, so this is one of those things that genuinely takes practice, and you've got to just do it. You've just got to do it over and over again. So I hope you enjoyed this video and it was all nice and clear and you got something out of it. These blanks are really versatile. These little bad boys doing this will get you a long way. You can make bolt tongs from it. This is Toby Hinkman style bolt tongs. You just need to forge the nibs ever so slightly differently. I will show you how you can make scrolling pliers. You can make pickup tongs. These are some little pickup tongs. You might have seen me using these in videos before. I love these. So for this type of tooling, also for the knife jaw, for the Bladesmith tongs, you know, these come out really handy. They work really well. They're a really good way of doing it. These are a bit thin, a bit thinner than I normally might make them. The reason is I've made them a bit lighter because the ones I had made were a bit chunky monkey. So I'm going to drill these and not punch these because I don't want to draw too much material through because they're already getting a bit thin, and then rivet them together. But if you're going to make things like rivet tongs like this, I would suggest you do the flat down, the 3 set down style, because they're a bit stronger. Also hollow bits and flat bits as well, I would also suggest you use the set down style because it just makes for a meatier tong, which is important because they do get, these work really well though, mind. But they're quick and easy and they're a good place to start. If you want to make these bulkier, if you want to make these tongs for example, these are 3/8 by inch. I would suggest if you want bulkier, heavier tongs, there's enough width in these to make a nice heavy pair of tongs, but not the thickness, so I'd suggest to go 3/8 first. And then if you want to go bigger again, I'd go inch and a quarter, or inch and 3/8 by 1/4 of an inch, or 30mm by, come on Dan, remember, 30 by 12 is where I'd go. So these are inch by, I wouldn't go any smaller than inch width, so these are 25 by 6 or inch by 5/8, inch by 7/16, or inch by 3/8, or inch and 3/8 by quarter, or 30mm by 12mm. I hope that made sense, because I don't think I said that right, but if I hope it did. But yeah, so if you want to make these in varying sizes. But yeah, they're lovely, they're quick, they're easy. I'm going to drill these, like I said, and then rivet them together in the next episode, and then I'm going to set the jaws up and the reins so that you've got the know-how now on to make 2 different types of tongs. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember, like and subscribe. I make content all the time for you guys. As often as humanly possible. Things are going to slow down a little bit in the next couple of weeks. I'm really sorry about that. If you want to know why, I'll put a link to a video at the end. I'll also put another link to a video of me making some other types of tongs. If you've got any questions, chuck them down in the comments. Things like drawing out reins, I may have sped them up a little bit and doing the nibs and stuff. There are videos I have on my channel. If you want that content, you just subscribe, find my channel and go over and have a look. Oh yeah, that reminds me, ring that bloody bell. It gives you notifications. I don't know why we have to do this, because YouTube's mad, but ring the bell, because that gives you notifications, and then it'll let you know whenever I release a video. So yeah, that's everything, I think. Oh yeah, Patreon's up, so if you like to help me out in any way, shape or form, remember you can pledge and get some goodies, so go over and check that out, because it's an exciting place. Thank you for joining me, guys. I will put the video up here to the... I can't remember what I just said. I'm going to have to edit this bit. I can't remember what video I said, but whatever video I did say, I'm going to put it up here, and then I'm going to put another tong video down here, the different types of tong video down here. Thanks for joining me, guys. Bye bye. Wow, this is so much hard work sometimes. I should have a script or something. Oh dear. Right.